Hi everybody, how are you doing today? I would like to introduce you to the lilylibrary.com. I really created this for my daughter who has difficulty reading, and she has very specific difficulties reading. She uses her visual cortex to try to read, which is, so she's very a visual person, which is not correct if you do research on this kind of stuff. That's not what you're supposed to use to read, but she tries to read visually when you're supposed to use your auditory system to read. But anyway, I created this for her, and it just has some cues in there, short lines, and to keep the lines short because she loses her place in lines. Good spacing between the words and good spacing between the lines, and also word hints so that she can get through difficult words. For this is one of the titles, Spirits of the Woods. My daughter's going to be reading it for the first time. Tell me what you think. But anyway, let me show you a few of the hints. Here we have one of the titles, and you can see there's a very barely you can see that indicator above the end of the words that have the hints, and I did that because I didn't want it to be too distracting, but for kids they shouldn't have any problem seeing it. Like this word is broken out, this word is broken out into its parts, phonics. This word is broken out into easy to read pronunciation. This word is also broken. So this goes through the entire text. This word is broken out. So the more difficult words, they will have hints to tell them how to basically sound out that word. Okay, you could hear my daughter going through it for the first time.
Oh no, I don't want people to hear my voice. Then if they watch boring.
Okay, you ready? Okay, let's start. Go ahead. Come on, Lil.
Can and William Beckett lived on Quiet Block. The sidewalk of the block is lined with dogwood trees on both sides and runs the entire length of the street. In the spring, the dogwood trees bloom with brilliant pink flowers from the end of the street to all the way to the next. As the flower petals fell, the roads and the sidewalks covered in layers of pink flower petals that looked like pink snow from a distance. The air throughout the neighborhood smelled like sweet perfumes due to the dogwood blossoms. Every day, Ken and William would go outside and play in the fallen flowers with the other kids from the neighborhood. The children piled the petals into great big heaps, which they ran through. When the heaps was sufficiently destroyed, they would build another heap and continue their games. For the children, it was great fun to play in the heaps of flowers for hours unending. There are 14 houses on the street where Ken and William lived. 7 houses on either side. The name of this street is Mulberry Street. Mulberry Street has the biggest dogwood trees in the neighborhood because it was the first block to be built when the neighborhood was developed. Many decades ago, the trees were planted shortly thereafter. Many of the families of Mulberry never moved, passing the property down through the generations. The house that Ken and William lived was recently bought by their parents. And Cheryl Beckett. This was an entirely new environment for the Becketts. But they liked the neighborhood quiet, traditional approval.
When you see that little thing above the E, that is a long E. What's a long E sound like? What's a long E sound like?
E.
Yes. So sound it out.
Apple.
App. Sound out each one.
App. Apple.
Sound it out. What's the first one?
App.
What's the second one?
Plea.
No. Look again. What's the second one? Second word.
P.
Yes. And the last one?
L.
Yes. So put it together.
Appeal. And the accident.
The ancient
looking trees that line the street.
The ancient looking trees that line the street. Yeah.
The street. Give the block the.
That's not the.
It's
No.
U.
It means that's a long U and a long E. So put it together.
Unique.
Yes.
Q.
That's not a long Q. Yes, that's a short Q. If you don't see that little accent above it, it's a short sounding letter. Okay.
Q. Mulberry Street was known as the Smoky Street among the kids in the neighborhood. Mulberry Street has one entrance on the east side of the block. At the other end of Mulberry Street, it was dead end. And beyond that was.
No, that's not was.
Is, I don't know.
It's okay. If you don't know it, you see a little.
On the Bell.
Yes, so put it
undeveloped
together. Correct.
Lands filled with big old trees. And underground.
Yes.
That's not they. is a footpath either
That's not either.
on
Footpath to.
to enter the forest area was beyond the dead end, about 20 meters from the beginning of the path. It starts
No, not too fast. Each word, sound out each word, please.
of the footpath. It starts a trappers hiking trail.
Yes.
Trappers trails
Come on, ladies.
is very popular with local hikers. Once you enter the trail head, it's almost like a different world beneath the forest.
Break it out.
Canopy.
Yes.
Canopy. In the daytime, the trail
Your canopy.
canopy is penetrated by streams of light like laser beams from the sky.
Very good.
Is creatures.
This is not is.
This creature.
That's not creatures. Break it out. Oh, it's not available. Okay, go on. Creates.
Creates a three-dimensional checkerboard effect of light. The shadow dining.
That's a long U. Long U says what? Pro what?
I don't know.
Look at it again. Pro is correct. TR long U is what?
True.
Yes.
True.
No. Just true. And the last word?
Ding.
Yes, so put it together.
Protruding.
Correct.
From the ground.
Yes.
And reaching up through the canopy, pillars of light and shadow that seemingly form the fountain.
No, it's not fountain. Close. It's not fountain.
Found a time.
That's not a short A, that's a long A. Long A goes
Found
A. Day. Long A goes A, so it's D then A.
day.
Yeah.
Sun.
Yes, so put it together.
Foundation.
Correct.
In the world above. The forest floors have